Good evening. I'm Dr. Kelly Hutchison, Chair of the Department of Ophthalmology at New York Medical College. It is my honor to serve as the Grand Marshal at the 162nd Commencement Ceremony of New York Medical College, including the second commencement of the Touro College of Dental Medicine. I call upon the arrhythmias to lead us in the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the balls bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Revered members of the clergy, Board Chair Joseph Mark, members of the Board of Trustees, President Kadish, Chancellor Halperin, deans, administration, and faculty, the candidates are in their places. The New York Medical College and Touro College of Dental Medicine commencement is now in session. Rabbi Moshe Krupka, Executive Vice President, Touro College and University System, will offer the invocation.
Avinu Shabbat our Heavenly Father, bless all those who have assembled here today to rejoice in the commencement exercises of the New York Medical College and the Touro College of Dental Medicine class of 2021. Almighty God, Rofei Chol Baso Mafli La'asos, you are the healer of all flesh, wondrous in your acts. We gather this evening as an academic community and as an extended Touro family to celebrate the achievements of these men and women who have accomplished so much. Before you stand the graduates of 2021, medical doctors, doctors of dental medicine, scientific researchers, health practitioners, and policy scholars, all who stand at the dawn of their chosen careers to bring healing and comfort to your world. Men and women who have dedicated themselves to the great art and science of medicine, dentistry, and healthcare. A destiny, a noble mission. These are extraordinary times. There is great uncertainty as darkness has descended upon our world. We lift our voices to you to bestow upon us your divine light, to dispel that darkness, to provide hope and reassurance as we look to the future. As we gather from afar as an academic community, indeed as an extended family, we ask you to bless this celebration and smile upon the achievements of those who have worked so diligently and accomplished so much, and who have so much more to offer. Watch over our young graduates who go forth to aid and heal others. Bless their efforts, Almighty God, with great success, and keep them safe as they set out as your agents to serve humanity with care and compassion. These dedicated students have worked so incredibly hard. They have toiled long and grueling hours. They have endured sleepless nights to master the intricacies, the complexities, the frailty, and the wonder of your most precious creation, humanity. These students have been nurtured, trained, and mentored by distinguished and devoted faculty, not merely in the details of their science, but they have been imbued with an inspired understanding, a reverence for human life. Dear graduates, we would have loved to all stand physically together today, but the circumstances we find ourselves in do not in any way diminish the pride that we have in you. Your achievements as individuals and as a graduating class are no less profound. The Almighty sees your efforts and knows your hearts, your commitment to helping others. A year ago, when the pandemic swept into our lives unexpectedly, there was only one healthy way to approach the situation: faith and determination. You exemplified both of these characteristics. Your parents, siblings, and friends, your faculty and mentors, all of us at Touro and the New York Medical College are filled with pride and joy as we grasp the talent and the achievement that you represent. Humanity has always faced challenges, and none greater than the one we believe we are emerging from now. Your commitment and this graduation says emphatically that you are part of the solution and will help ensure a bright new tomorrow. We have great faith that all of you will continue to make a difference. May the Almighty provide you with every blessing so that each of you can fulfill your own unique potential and destiny. Amen.
Thank you, Rabbi Krupka. I am pleased to introduce Mr. Joseph Mark, Chairman of the Board of Trustees.
Honored guests, members of the administration, faculty, families, and friends, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, I am pleased to welcome you to this momentous occasion. To the graduates of the class of 2021, I appreciate your disappointment that you are not together in person with your classmates, families, and friends on this very important day in your lives. I would like to acknowledge the unique challenges each of you has faced over this past year. I also want to acknowledge the extraordinary efforts and contribution of our faculty administration over this most difficult year to ensure that we were able to maintain our commitment to provide a superb education within a safe environment. This was not an easy task, and on behalf of the board, I thank you. And now to the class of 2021. You have each demonstrated a remarkable aptitude that will travel with you on your new journey in medicine, dentistry, public health, research, physical therapy, speech pathology, epidemiology, biostatistics, or whatever endeavor you choose. Your academic achievements, dedication, and desire to make the world a better place may bring you to some far-off wonderful places, but we hope you will always maintain close in heart and spirit to New York Medical College and the Touro College of Dental Medicine. On behalf of all of us at New York Medical College and the Touro College and University system, allow me to wish you all the best for a lifetime of success, health, and happiness. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Mark. I would like to take a moment to recognize the Golden Legacy Society alumni from the class of 1971 who have joined us online 50 years later to help celebrate this commencement. I'm pleased to introduce Chelsea Banks, candidate for the MD degree from the New York Medical College School of Medicine, who will give the student address.
Congratulations to the class of 2021. My name is Chelsea Banks, and I'm one of the graduating students from NYMC's School of Medicine. It is my honor today to deliver a commencement address to this incredible student body. I grew up in the suburbs of Long Island and later took a voyage out of New York to complete my undergraduate studies at Vanderbilt University. However, I always knew I wanted to return home for medical school, and thus my quest began. I was on the hunt for a place that would accept and embrace me for who I am. Back in the days when we would do in-person visits for interviews, I remember driving up to Valhalla and seeing freshly fallen snow on the ground. I had just come from 70-degree southern weather, but there was an essence that already felt like home. I met wonderful deans, faculty, staff, and students throughout the day, but it was the many interactions with students that really sealed the deal for me. They spoke fondly about how much they all learned from one another and how they were able to stick together to make it through the complexities that school presented. I knew then that New York Medical College was able to foster the connection I was looking for, so at last, back to New York I went to start yet another journey. My fondest memories over the last 4 years include some of the most amazing people from the NYMC community. We have celebrated everything together, every birthday, every exam, every accomplishment. I remember the countless study days we spent in Barnes & Nobles, where we would learn from one another, drink lots of coffee, and push each other to be better. I remember all the amazing adventures with SNMA, our trip to see Black Panther, precious moments in Harlem, welcome barbecues, countless brunches, and so much more. However, it was during times of tragedy that I personally found my community to work tirelessly to comfort and support me. The community at NYMC is not like any other that I've had the privilege of belonging to. This community is more like a family and has allowed me to meet some of the most intelligent, strong, passionate, and hardworking people, and I am proud to call them my tribe. As we journey into our next chapter of life, I know I will always have this tribe to call on and will forever remember all the lessons we learned along the way. NYMC has been a roller coaster full of joyous moments, as well as some of the hardest challenges we have ever had to face. This year has proved challenging for many people and has given us a unique perspective as students. From the pandemic that COVID-19 has presented us to the surgence of the Black Lives Matter movement, the world around us has transformed. We were asked to stop going to clinical rotations, forced to figure out new virtual platforms for classes, and face new difficulties continuing our work in our laboratories. However, this did not stop us as we jumped at the opportunity to help. Some of us worked on the COVID-19 volunteer force, while others joined task forces to address specific areas within anti-racism, anti-bias, and health inequities. There were students who continued to raise money for Haiti for a DPT mission trip, and many others who upheld National Public Health Week with fundraisers that helped provide the youth with food throughout the Westchester County. Others in the community were providing free dental care to veterans and children through Smiles events. Students throughout the college returned to work clinically, all while spreading kindness and respect during such a vulnerable era. Additional students returned to their respective laboratories to research new ways to continue to make change. We, as an NYMC community, quickly swung into action, which continuously demonstrates the dedicated people you will find here. We have taken pride in the great work we have achieved, including our very own Dr. Maral Havadifier, Doctor of Physical Therapy, class of 2015, who has gone on to gain Super Bowl credit as the assistant strength and conditioning coach for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It is amazing how far we've come and how pivotal our time at NYMC has been. We have overcome so many unforeseen trials and tribulations, but one thing I've learned about this community is that we are always striving for more. Today, as we all graduate with our respective degrees, I dare us to use these degrees to leave a legacy for generations to come. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "We must remember intelligence is not enough. Intelligence plus character, that is the true goal of education." We were provided with the tools necessary to develop our knowledge here. Our character enrichment comes from the people that make up the NYMC community. This community challenges one another to be better, and this can be seen in many different forms. This can be seen within our labs, in our classrooms, or even with our patients. We are encouraged to show compassion and humanism within all of our interactions and relationships throughout life. This unique emphasis allows us to garner the true goal of education, and as such, enriches us to be the best versions of ourselves. As we graduate, I challenge us to remember the good work we have done here should not stop today. We should look for the causes of disease, innovate new treatment plans, strengthen the public health sector, combat health disparities, and continue to break barriers in research, and above all, to continue to treat others with love and kindness. It is my hope that as we strive for excellence, we will truly leave our mark for future generations. I challenge all of us to continue to evolve into fearless warriors that children will look up to one day, and to uphold the lessons we've learned. I look forward to hearing all of our new perspectives we gain and wonderful stories when we return for our future reunions. Best of luck to everyone in this next chapter, and again, congratulations to the class of 2021.
Thank you, Chelsea. I would now like to welcome the Chair of the Department of Family Medicine, Dr. Lori Solomon, who will introduce our 2021 commencement speaker.
Catherine D. DeAngelis has served as Division Chief of General and Adolescent Pediatrics at Johns Hopkins and Vice Dean of Academic Affairs and Faculty. She co-authored the textbook Pediatric Primary Care. In 1999, she became the first pediatrician and first woman to be named Editor-in-Chief of the Journal of the American Medical Association. Her memoir, Pursuing Equity in Medicine, One Woman's Journey, has been described as a must-read, witty, politely irreverent, frightening, poignant, and inspiring. we welcome this member of the National Academy of Medicine and post-chair of the American Board of Pediatrics, Dr. Catherine D. DeAngelis.
New York Medical College, Chancellor Halperin, various deans, faculty, friends, family, and most importantly, you 560 students from the various schools. You know, I can't see you, but I can imagine what you look like. I'm speaking to the students now. I imagine that I have clothes older than most of you. And I know that you didn't come here today to listen to me. So I'm going to make my remarks quite brief, but I want to impart to you just a few things that I've learned from my very long career in medicine as a physician, also with a public health career. I also had a nursing career to start. So I'm going to try to impart these things I've learned, and I'm going to try to do it as much as I can with stories. So there were these two guys on a train in Italy, and the one guy says to the other, he says, "Scusa, what's your name?" He says, "My name is Giuseppe Pascolini. What's your name?" "Hey, my name is Giuseppe Pascolini. Where you from?" "Oh, I'm from Palermo. Where you from?" "I'm from Palermo too. How you spell your name?" So the guy takes out a pen, makes an X. He says, "How you spell your name?" This guy takes out a gold pen, makes two X's. So this guy says, "Scusa, you Giuseppe Pascolini. I'm Giuseppe Pascolini. You from Palermo. I'm from Palermo. How come I only get one X, you get two?" He says, "Oh, I'm a Giuseppe Pascolini, MD. Now, I'm picking on the medical students here. I hope you don't mind and using you as an example. There's an example of these guys can't even, the guy especially, the two X's, can't even spell his name, but he's got an MD and he gets two X's. And that shows the prestige with which all of you are going to have the prestige once you graduate, from physicians to public health workers, your researchers, all of you. I don't want to mention all your schools because I'm sure I'll miss one and I don't want to do that. Now, one of the things you have to understand, and again, I'm going to pick on the physicians, is when you finish, if you have a tag, for example, the physicians have your name and then MD. That says MD, not MD. So you don't pretend that you're better than anyone because you're really not. You're luckier and you're more blessed than the average person. And I'm speaking to all of you 560 students because you've been blessed with what it takes to achieve the degree that you will receive today. Now, with these blessings and with this prestige comes a great responsibility. And part of that responsibility is that you can't always like the people for whom you care, the clinicians, the people for whom you work and with whom you work. You can't always like them, but you really certainly should always love them and treat them with respect. Now, for the clinicians, just think of the prestige and the power you have. I mean, the clinicians, you tell people to take off their clothes and they do. It's amazing. And many of them are much older than you. Some of you will see a baby before the mother or father sees it. Just think about that, because you have to know that every time a baby is born, it's proof that God hasn't given up on the human race. And for some of you, you will be the last face they see before they die. Now, you have a stewardship that's associated with your profession and the position that you will hold. And that's a professionalism. You have to treat the people for whom you care and your colleagues with respect. And always, as clinicians and as researchers, you must protect patients. And you shouldn't accept anything that you don't earn. You don't get involved in a conflict of interest with big pharmaceutical companies, medical devices, or anybody who tries to give you gifts, trying to get you to do something that you know is not right. Now, the other thing is, one of my pet peeves is that you will allow people to call you a provider. I don't know why every Jewish mother in the world, and at least in the United States, doesn't end up in arms. Can you imagine? I want you should meet my son, the provider. It doesn't work. And it doesn't work for us either, because that term provider was a term that was determined by business people, because you can manipulate providers. It's harder to manipulate clinicians and researchers. Now, the other thing, and this is meant for all of you, you can't always cure. You can't always come up with research for curing something. You can't always clinically care for patients and cure them, but you can always care. And in caring, there is healing. And that's really what we're all about. Now, it's not enough to be smart. You could be brilliant. And if you don't have compassion and you don't love what you're doing, you're not very good at your profession or your position. Also, for the clinicians, always give the patients hope. And for the researchers, always have hope that your research will come up with something that will help people. But the most important thing is for you to have compassion. Now, I'm going to tell you a story that I think very much epitomizes what your whole life is going to be about. There was this village, and there was this very wise woman in the village. Yes, there are very wise women. Now, people in this village would come to this wise woman and ask for her advice all the time. In fact, once a week, she would meet in the big hall and people could ask her advice and she would give it. Now, there were a group of teenage boys who were annoyed by this. They said, she's not that smart. Why does everybody respect her? And one of the boys said, I'm going to prove she's wrong, because at the next meeting, I am going to go to the meeting and I'm going to hold a bird in my hand. And I'm going to ask her, great wise woman, is the bird in my hand alive or dead? And if she says the bird is dead, I'll open my hands and it'll fly away, proving she's wrong. Now, if she says the bird is alive, I'm going to squeeze my hands and crush the bird so it will be dead. I'll open my hands and it will show a dead bird. Oh, the boys thought that was pretty clever. So the next meeting, they went there and this smart aleck teenage boy goes up to her and he says, oh, wise woman, is the bird in my hand dead or alive? And she looks at him and she says, my dear son, the answer is in your hands. And what I say to each of you, how you practice, how you work, how you cure, how you heal, how you discover is in your hands, no one else's. And so I say to you, good luck. Walk proudly with love in everything you do. And I wish you all Godspeed. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. DeAngelis. I call President Alan Kadish to offer his remarks and to confer the degrees upon the class of 2021.
Good afternoon, graduates, honored guests, esteemed faculty, administration, family, and friends. Welcome to New York Medical College's commencement exercises. I regret that we can't all be together in person, but as you all know, circumstances dictate that we must remain socially isolated. Nevertheless, regardless of where you are watching, know that we are all together in spirit on this exciting day. I want to thank Dean Amler, Dean Holtz, Provost for Research, Dr. Amar, for all their hard work in bringing us to this day. Along with all of you, I'm delighted to celebrate the achievements of our graduates and to recognize those who have supported their goals and believed in their dreams every step of the way. Parents, children, partners, family, and friends. They know how the graduates have persevered and been determined through the pandemic. Today we have graduates from New York Medical College's Schools of Medicine, Graduate School of Basic Sciences, and School of Health Sciences and Practice, and graduates of the Touro College of Dental Medicine. A wide range of programs and degrees with many differences, but even more things that are held in common: commitment and values. These are the laurels of our graduates, and they should never be taken for granted. Higher education and science in particular take pains to be inclusive of men and women spanning all cultures and religions. Nowhere is this more evident than at New York Medical College. We are part of the largest collection of medical and health science schools under Jewish auspices in the nation. While similar institutions have historically had quotas that did not favor certain races and religions, at New York Medical College, such a notion is antithetical to everything we hold dear. We were one of the few medical schools to admit women early and the very first to have a scholarship dedicated to minority students. When New York Medical College came under the sponsorship of the Touro College and University system, our goals were aligned. We believe that education for all people is the most vital and practical approach to building a better world. This past year has been unlike any other. The COVID pandemic has had an extraordinary impact not only on institutions of higher education, but especially on healthcare students and healthcare workers, increasing stress and related issues for healthcare workers, highlighting the interaction between personal responsibility and professional responsibility, and underscoring inequities in healthcare have all been unique challenges that we faced during the COVID pandemic. While people in all walks of life were impacted socially and psychologically by the pandemic, there has been a huge additional impact on the workload that healthcare practitioners have been forced to carry and an interruption in the education of healthcare students. This has increased the risk for anxiety, burnout, depression, and moral distress, and even post-traumatic stress disorder. Under usual working conditions, burnout is a problem with 33% of ICU nurses and 45% of ICU physicians potentially suffering from burnout. But this all has become much worse during the COVID pandemic. We've had to learn to persevere in times of stress, in times of interruption of education, and those lessons are ones that can be taught for the future. The reality has made it clear that in the future, physicians and other healthcare providers must prepare themselves for challenges similar to COVID. We can't shirk this responsibility. This is our chosen profession, and as pandemics and health crises occur, we have to step up and rush in to put out the fire. Mindful of that, we must develop programs to support healthcare providers through times of crisis. Secondly, as a medical school and as a medical community, we are forced to decide for both students and healthcare workers how to balance risk to healthcare workers, and our duty to patients. The interruption in education for healthcare students due to the COVID-19 pandemic has highlighted this issue. And in some cases, perhaps, we haven't taught students the right lesson. Medicine is a noble profession with a clear responsibility to our patients. Of course, we have to protect our own health, but we have to balance that protection against our responsibility to heal our patients. Our responsibility as a healthcare community has never been needed more than during the COVID pandemic. And if you're training to be healers, then in times of need, you must use that training to do precisely that. Finally, as physicians, we have a responsibility to make certain that everyone has equal access to healthcare and to health. I'm reminded about a quote from Dr. Martin Luther King, who said, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in to a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly." King could well have been talking about the healthcare system. The existing healthcare disparities need to continue to be a focus of what we address at New York Medical College and as a healthcare community. In the past, there's no question that those disparities impacted population health, and they continue to do so today. It's our responsibility to not let that continue. None of these issues are going away, even when the pandemic abates. Each of these issues, disparities, personal and professional responsibility, and health in response to a crisis, need to be focused on. Soon, many of you will be asked to take an oath or a pledge. I urge you to listen seriously to the words and take them seriously, because in these times, our responsibility to society is enormous. Hippocrates, when he initially developed the oath, focused on physicians not doing harm. But in today's society, with the degree of social and health rupture that has occurred, both before and during the pandemic, not doing harm is not enough. We must do good, and that lesson needs to be learned and relearned. The Talmud has a story about how children, before they are born, are given instructions to be righteous and not evil. And that even if everyone tells them that they are righteous, they should not listen. The message is we can always do better. And in these times, when the internet has promulgated myths and hatred, when hate crimes have been increasing, when racism is at best not gone, and at worst, rearing its ugly head in places we've never seen it before, when anti-Semitism, a long history of murder, continues, we need not just not to do harm, but we need to do good. When you embarked on your graduate school journey, you made a series of choices. One was to choose New York Medical College. We believe it was a wise choice. Here we prepare students to help repair the world. This is indeed a lofty goal, not to be taken lightly. For the rest of your lives, you students will have an opportunity to be healers in a society that truly needs healing. Never has that been more true today. As alumni of New York Medical College, we will always be with you. We ask you to always feel part of the New York Medical College and Touro family. It's going to be a challenge in the future, but we believe that with the training and education you've received here, you're going to be up to it. Make us proud, and good luck in the future. You've made it through a complicated time. Things will get easier from here. Congratulations. Students, wherever you find yourselves, please rise. Upon the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Health Sciences and Practice, the Graduate School of Basic Medical Sciences, the School of Medicine at New York Medical College, and the Touro College of Dental Medicine at New York Medical College, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of New York Medical College and of the Touro College system, as well as the Board of Regents of the State University of New York, I hereby confer upon the class of 2021 the degrees of Master of Science, Doctor of Physical Therapy, Master of Public Health, and Doctor of Public Health in the School of Health Sciences and Practice, the degrees of Master of Science and Doctor of Philosophy in the School of Basic Medical Sciences, the degree of Medical Doctor at the New York Medical College School of Medicine, and the DDS degree at the Touro College of Dental Medicine, to those students who've been recommended with all the rights and responsibilities that are associated with those degrees. Congratulations, class of 2021. Do us proud.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Robert Amler, and it is my privilege to be your dean here at New York Medical College School of Health Sciences and Practice and Institute of Public Health. Well, what a unique and spectacular end-of-year event this is. For it is our virtual gathering for the class of 2021, assembled with family and friends, and we are ready to celebrate. This is a happy moment in time. Your exams are done. Your papers are graded. Your theses and dissertations are complete. Family and friends, these women and men have sparkled with exceptional talent, energy, and ideals. The faculty and staff and I are proud of these graduates, proud of the quality of their work, proud of what they discovered in themselves: intellectual curiosity, collaboration, and compassion. Class of 21, let's look around and recognize our family and friends whose support made this evening possible, and our faculty who have dedicated so many hours to our development. Class of 21, let me ask you this. How many times do people say, "I want to make a difference"? Well, now you have knowledge and relevant skills. You actually can make a difference. You've learned persistence, patience, and teamwork, and that makes all the difference. 100 years ago, President Teddy Roosevelt said, "Far and away, the best prize life has to offer is the chance to work hard at work worth doing." With that philosophy, he envisioned a confident, optimistic game plan for the 20th century. Well, now we're 21 years into the 21st, and the next game plan is yours to enact. Think of what you can accomplish. Millions of Americans alive today will still be alive in the 22nd century. Their history is literally yours to write. Think of it. Visionaries in our field from the last 2 centuries, like Louis Pasteur in the 19th, Jonas Salk in the 20th, are still saving lives even today. They did it, and so can you. Think of it. You will literally go on from here to help people who haven't even been born yet. And some of you just might help some who are not born in our own lifetimes. Well, way back here in good old 2021, we feel humbled and privileged to send you off on your many journeys. Remember, from this day forth, this will always be your school and part of your professional identity. Your success is our success, and we promise to keep working to make our school the school you will always be proud to come back to. I hope you will always remember with pleasure your time with us. And so our virtual and virtuous best wishes to you all.
Hello all, my name is Tom Nelson. I am grateful to have been awarded the opportunity to speak with each and every one of you. I am a member of the Speech-Language Pathology graduate class of 2021. When I was asked to represent all School of Health Sciences and Practice graduates through this speech, I was very intimidated. I will be the first to admit that a virtual graduation is inadequate yet necessary in recognizing the accomplishments we have all achieved. Due to the nature of this graduation, we had to forfeit the chance to shake our professors' hands, to look for our loved ones in a large crowd, and to celebrate with our peers who have supported us through our academic journey. We were forced into a set of circumstances which no one has ever known. Therefore, this graduation speech will be appropriately atypical. There is an immense privilege in being granted the opportunity to pursue graduate studies. However, after receiving and choosing acceptance into this institution, the initial glamour and prestige of such an accomplishment blinded the hardships and sacrifices that would follow. Once the pandemic began, a dizzying whirlwind of weeks that felt like days left my classmates and I scared and alone behind our laptop screens. I commend the faculty in SHSP for what could not have been a more seamless transition from in-person to online coursework. Nevertheless, we had to become accustomed to learning and become comfortable at delivering quality healthcare services under a completely novel set of circumstances, oftentimes through a computer. There is a sense of duty to provide care for the vulnerable regardless of your specialization. Your personal struggles become irrelevant. Excessive selflessness is learned and not taught. However, at one point, you begin to see your efforts pay off. In terms of speech-language pathology, you are able to give voices to those who are so often ostracized and looked down upon. You are able to help a patient who could not safely swallow foods or liquids and improve their quality of life. For physical therapy, this may mean helping a patient walk again. Public health students were able to see firsthand how the coronavirus impacted both global and local healthcare policy, and medical students were called to treat a surplus of severely medically compromised patients. Regardless of discipline, your patient's small victories resonate with you. You feel a sense of empowerment that reminds you why you chose your specific career path. You see how the constructive scrutiny and high expectation of faculty has led to your growth as a professional. You see your purpose and calling has been awarded due to your efforts. To the class of 2021, this is just the beginning of your career. May you graciously accept things you do not know and be willing to learn from your mistakes. Make humanism paramount in your practice. Patients and the public are in need of the services you can provide. Be proud of what you have sacrificed to have gotten to this point, but be willing to put your hardships aside, to truly hear and empathize with struggles your patients face that you may never know. Forgive yourself for the times you said no to being with loved ones and friends in pursuit of your goals. Recognize that you chose a life that will benefit others in ways you cannot imagine. Take a moment to acknowledge yourself and all that you have done. Congratulations to all and happy graduation.
Good afternoon. My name is Christy Damo Armstrong, class of 2010, graduate of the Speech-Language Pathology program. I am the chair of the Alumni Council of the School of Health Sciences and Practice and Institute of Public Health, and I'm honored to offer congratulations to each and every one of you on reaching the milestone of completing your postgraduate education and obtaining your advanced degree at the renowned institution known as New York Medical College. You will walk far and wide in your future, and because of your exceptional training, you will be able to offer recommendations, ideas, guidance, solutions, and solace to the many thousands of people that you will encounter in your lifetime. I feel that my New York Medical College education has afforded me many opportunities above those of my peers who have trained elsewhere. I have put into action with confidence the education and training I received, and I am grateful to all of my professors for the training that they provided and for their selfless dedication to making my classmates and me the best clinicians that we can be. What you have done is no small accomplishment, and you've set yourself far apart from others. The qualities that brought you to this moment, hard work, drive, confidence, guts, determination, imagination, talent, and vision, are the qualities that will sustain you through whatever is coming your way and carry you through the future that you have dreamed of. So let's talk about the past 12 months, the year that will forever be embedded in our minds, the year that took so much pomp from so many because of the pandemic circumstance. You will not be defined by what you lost to the virus, but by how you responded to it. You showed up, gave of yourself, as you will continue to do every step of the next phase of your life and profession. I'm only a few years older than most of you, and maybe the same age as some others, and there's a saying that says, everything I needed to know I learned in kindergarten. And this refers to life lessons. And I have to admit that it's taken me a bit longer to learn some of these than others. In my short 34 years on this earth, this is what I've learned. Life is good, yet not fair. I've learned that people you love will sometimes leave your side, either by walking out on you or going off to their final reward. I've learned that when one door closes, the window opens wider. I've learned that no one can take away your accomplishments, and pride is not always a bad thing. I've learned that people make plans, and sometimes God laughs. I've learned that when people show you who they really are, you should believe them on the first time. I've learned that what we've enjoyed and loved could never be lost, and all because of that, we love deeply, and that becomes part of us. I've learned that tough times don't last, tough people will. And I've learned that it's not enough to be compassionate, you must act. Your instruction at New York Medical College has officially ended, yet your education will continue to the very end of your time. Never stop learning and challenging yourself to be the best you can be. Keep on growing. Keep on adding goodness and beauty to the world. Never has a graduating class been as challenged as you have been challenged. Walk proudly into the future with passion, vision, compassion, purpose, and most importantly, hope. I'm calling on you to remember the school you've called home for the past few years and to be thankful for all you've learned here. The foundation of your professional career was laid here, and for that reason, I'm asking you to continue to support the great institution in your future. And remember, don't forget where you came from. In closing, I'd like to advise you to take some time for yourself and celebrate. Then go take on the world. Do great things with your life that will impact the lives of others. Following the mission of our alma mater, go positively impact your communities while improving healthcare. On behalf of the entire New York Medical College community, we are proud of you as you embark on your journey. You give us hope, and we send your best wishes for all of your tomorrows. Oh, and one more thing, wear sunscreen. I know you've heard it before, but it is actually really important. Thank you.
The Department of Speech-Language Pathology nominates the following students who have shown capacity for leadership and achievement in their chosen allied health field for induction into the Alpha Eta Society. Milkika Brekak, Amanda Dolan, Emily Faso, Jessica Schmidt, Pauline Ann Soriano, Nicole Taccariello, Maria Vitiello. The Department of Speech-Language Pathology nominates the following faculty for induction into the Alpha Eta Society based on distinguished scholarship, leadership, and service. Dr. Vikas Grover. Congratulations to all the recipients.
Alpha Eta is a National Honor Society for healthcare professions. The motto of the society is, "Together we serve." This year in the Doctor of Physical Therapy program, we are pleased to induct 2 graduates and 1 honorary member. Graduates considered for induction must be in their last year of the professional program, have a minimum GPA of 3.8, and have evidence of distinguished scholarship and service. Our graduate inductees for 2021 are Jessie Vanger and Carly DeNegris. Those considered for honorary membership must have evidence of distinguished scholarship and service to the profession of physical therapy. For her role as outstanding leader clinician, and scholar, we are pleased to induct Dr. Janet Herbold, PT, MPH, PhD, as an honorary member. As Secretary and Treasurer of the Alpha Eta Society at New York Medical College, I hope you will join me in congratulating our 2021 inductees. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Liberatos, President of the Delta Alpha Chapter of Delta Omega, the National Public Health Honorary Society. Members of Delta Omega are dedicated to protecting and advancing the health of all people and increasing the quality of public health practice. 4 categories of individuals will be inducted today. The first is students. Criteria considered are exemplary academic accomplishment, along with demonstration of scholarship, leadership, and service to public health practice. The nominees are: for biostatistics, Inas Al-Shakhrani; for environmental health sciences, Ramya Botta and Amir Buzimkic; for epidemiology, Purvi Desai and Aishwarya Jadhav; for health behavior and community health, Omobolanle Alabi; for health policy and management for the MPH, Curtis Lee, Deborah Abrams, Catherine Rothas, and Sapna Gopala; for the DRPH in health policy and management, Emily Kaplan and Nicholas Mercado. The second category is alumni. Alumni are considered for induction based on their commitment, leadership, scholarship, and/or service to the field of public health. The nominees to be inducted today are Dawn French. She received her MPH in Health Policy and Management in 2014. Ms. French is responsible for management of marketing, communications, and community relations for White Plains Hospital. She also serves on the board of the Westchester Division of the American Heart Association. Patrick Lee. He received his MPH in Environmental Health Sciences in 2009. Mr. Lee has extensive experience in the area across several businesses at a pharmaceutical company, a medical waste management company, and more recently with the Federal Aviation Administration. He has also served as adjunct faculty for over 10 years at the college. Dana Peters. She received her MPH in Behavioral Sciences and Health Promotion in 2015. She has been responsible for program planning and curriculum development in the area of sexually transmitted infections and is a member of the Racial Equity and Social Justice Initiative for the New York City Department of Health and Mental Hygiene. Nancy Stambler. She received her DRPH in Epidemiology in 2010. She is the Director of Biometrics at Progenics Pharmaceuticals. She has expertise in pharmaceutical industry, clinical trials, and the FDA regulatory process. She has also served as adjunct faculty for 14 years at the college. Douglas York. He received his MPH in Health Policy and Management in 1991. He has been a healthcare executive at hospitals, health centers, and physician practice corporations for over 25 years. He has held board-level positions with state and national healthcare membership organizations and has served in 2 White House task forces. He also has been an adjunct faculty member here at the college for several years. The third category is for faculty. A faculty member is considered each year based on their commitment, teaching, scholarship, leadership, and service in public health practice. Our nominee for induction this year is Dr. Cha-Ching Chen, whose work has focused on school-based sexual health interventions focused on pregnancy prevention. She has also been a federal grant reviewer for the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention for Sexuality Education and Pregnancy Prevention Programs. Congratulations to all the inductees. You are joining a very accomplished membership of Delta Omega. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Vikas Grover. I'm an assistant professor in the Department of Speech Language Pathology. We are proud to announce the Academic Excellence Award and the Clinical Excellence Award first. The Academic Excellence Award is awarded to one SLP graduate who, in the judgment of the faculty, has exhibited excellence in academic work over the course of graduate education. A minimum GPA of 3.8 is required for a graduate to qualify for nomination. The recipient of the Academic Excellence Award is Ms. Emily Faso. Throughout her time in the SLP program, Emily has been a steady performer both inside and outside the classroom. She maintains a 3.94 GPA. Emily displays excellent professional behavior in all of her interactions. Feedback from her clinical externship supervisors is positive and refers to her ability to integrate academic information into clinical practice and comments on her excellent professional behavior. Congratulations, Emily. The Clinical Excellence Award now is awarded to one SLP graduate who, in the judgment of the faculty, has consistently demonstrated outstanding performance in full-time clinical experiences and who has excelled in challenging clinical experiences and shown significant growth in those experiences. The recipient of the Clinical Excellence Award is Ms. Sarah Brooks. Sarah has proven herself to be an effective clinician in all settings. Since her first semester, she adapted to the clinical environment, quickly established excellent clinical rapport, and enthusiastically engaged her patients in creative and productive activities. She was observed to demonstrate strong clinical reflection skills, which served to further improve her sessions from week to week. In her external rotations, field supervisors consistently remarked on her professionalism and clinical excellence. Cierra has consistently advocated for her clients. Congratulations, Cierra.
Hi, I'm Lauren Alter, an assistant professor and clinical educator in the department. The Outstanding Scholarship Award is awarded to a group of graduates from the SLP program who, in the judgment of the faculty, have demonstrated outstanding scholarship as evidenced by a scholarly product that reflects excellence in research and discovery, synthesis and integration, application and practice, or teaching and education. The recipients are Pauline Ann Soriano and Isabel Haribal. Pauline and Isabel participated in research designed to advance the knowledge base for the discipline. As part of a larger project investigating 2 speech training methods in non-native speakers of English, Pauline annotated hundreds of audio files and prepared the data for further analysis. This study examines the effectiveness of a traditional approach and a novel approach in training non-native speakers on the perception and production of American English speech sounds. Isabel's work focused on investigating the physiology of pill swallowing. Pill swallowing is reported to be difficult for up to 40% of the population, and investigation is needed to identify appropriate compensatory strategies to improve pill swallowing efficiency and safety. The Professional Leadership Award is awarded to one SLP graduate who, in the judgment of the faculty, has consistently demonstrated exemplary professional behavior through service to clients or care of patients, commitment to the profession, and respect at all times to clients or patients and other health professionals. This award goes to Isabel Haribal. Isabel has displayed leadership within the program as an active member of the department's National Student Speech Language Hearing Association chapter. She is credited with organizing the chapter's largest activity, the Christmas Drive for Families in the Foster Care Program at the Westchester Institute for Human Development. Additionally, Isabel has received positive feedback from faculty and clinical educators about her outstanding professional behavior in all settings.
My name is Dr. Michael Majak, Associate Professor and Chair of the Department of Physical Therapy in the School of Health Sciences and Practice at New York Medical College, and I'm very pleased to be recognizing the Commencement Awards for the Department of Physical Therapy. The first award is for Outstanding Scholarship, awarded to a doctoral project group of graduates who, in the judgment of the faculty, has carried out a scholarly project that reflects excellence in research and discovery, synthesis and integration, application and practice, or teaching and education. It's my pleasure to recognize as recipients of this award Christopher Farella, Joseph Iarocci, and Nicole Marsh for their project titled Identifying Predictors of Inpatient Rehabilitation Length of Stay using the new post-acute functional assessment tool following total knee replacement. In this project, these students worked under the supervision and mentorship of Dr. Janet Herbold, the Vice President of Post-Acute Services at Burke Rehabilitation Hospital. They assessed the utility of a new patient outcome tool, and this project results are currently in preparation for submission for publication. I am pleased to recognize Christopher, Joseph, and Nicole for their scholarship. The next award is the Academic Excellence Award, awarded to a graduate of the Department of Physical Therapy who, in the judgment of the faculty, has exhibited excellence in academic work over the course of graduate education. A minimum of GPA of 3.8 is required for a graduate to qualify for nomination. It's my pleasure to recognize co-recipients for the award this year, Jesse Van Gore and Carly Denigris. Each of these students received high praise from basic science faculty of the Department of Physical Therapy, and clinical faculty as academically gifted students. Their GPAs, well over 3.8, were just thousandths of a point apart, and they each showed outstanding performance in classroom, laboratory, and clinical education coursework over the 3 years they have been here. In addition to their coursework, They show dedication, commitment, and perseverance over the course of their doctoral project work. I am pleased to recognize Jesse and Carly for their academic excellence. The next award is the Clinical Excellence Award, awarded to a graduate of the department who, in the judgment of the faculty, has consistently demonstrated outstanding performance in full-time clinical education experiences and who has excelled in challenging clinical experiences and shown significant growth in those experiences. It's my pleasure to recognize this year's recipient, Casey Rubenstein. Casey has demonstrated exemplary professionalism and a strong sense of caring and compassion towards all patients across all 4 clinical education experiences. Casey's clinical instructors described her as highly professional, courteous, and confident, with an eagerness to learn by always welcoming challenges and a dedication to the profession. During each clinical experience, Casey has held herself to high standards of delivering compassionate, patient-centered care and always be welcoming of feedback to grow professionally. I am pleased to recognize Casey for her clinical excellence. The last award is the Professional Leadership Award, awarded to a graduate who, in the judgment of the faculty, has consistently demonstrated exemplary professional behavior through service to clients, of care of patients, commitment to the profession, and respect at all times to clients or patients and other health professions. It's my pleasure to recognize the recipient for this year, Mina Belfort. Mina has demonstrated professional leadership throughout all aspects of graduate school activities, both in and beyond the Department of Physical Therapy. She takes on multiple roles in groups, and she's an initiator who leads by example as well as by encouraging others to step in. Her role as class representative clearly demonstrated her leadership skills in representing class needs and organizing class groups for program activities. She addressed all issues in a diplomatic and sensitive manner to encourage resolution. I am pleased to recognize Mina for her professional leadership. Thank you very much.
Greetings, I'm Dr. Mark Kittleson, Chair of the Department of Public Health. The Department of Public Health is proud to announce our award-winning students for the 2021 graduation. Typical of most years, this has been a really difficult decision to make, and I thank the faculty for their input. The Department of Public Health has 4 Masters in Public Health, MPHs, an MS in Biostatistics, and a DRPH in Health Policy and Management. Our MPHs include Health Policy and Management, Health Behavior and Community Health, Epidemiology, and Environmental Health Sciences. Despite the horrific impact that the pandemic has had on our country this past year, we have seen unprecedented growth in public health programs here at NYMC. We are offering the following awards: Academic Excellence Award, Outstanding Scholarship Award, Excellence in Public Health Practice, Professional Leadership Award, Outstanding Dissertation Award, and a new award for this year, the Chair's Special Recognition Award. The Academic Excellence Award is given to 1 DRPH graduate and 1 graduate of each MPH-MS program, who, in the judgment of the faculty, have exhibited excellence in academic work over the course of graduate education. A minimum GPA of 3.8 is required out of 4. In biostatistics, we're proud to announce that Fatima Almadi earned a 3.97 and is the biostatistics representative. She demonstrated strong quantitative skills to solve many complex theoretical problems. In health behavior and community health, we're proud to announce Zaina Fulton. She earned an impressive 3.86. She has a great level of passion and commitment to learning and learning by doing. Health Policy and Management, Curtis Sean Lee. Curtis is a double major, earning his MD and MPH, and he earned a grade point average of 3.98 in his MPH. There are many group projects in public health, and one of the greatest compliments can be when students want you to be on their committee. Curtis is one of those people. Students flock to get him on their committee because he works hard, he has hardworking, and he's very collegial. Epidemiology, Alejandra Pedro. Alejandra has been vice president of STUI, the student organization in the department, for 2 semesters and is a peer mentor. In addition, she works part-time to support herself while still managing to maintain a perfect 4.0 in an incredibly difficult major. Nice job, Alejandra. In environmental health, Chi Kwan Nung. She has excelled in all the courses she has taken, and she serves as a great example to her peers. Her overall grade point average is 3.957. And for the DRPH, we're proud to announce Nicholas Mercado. Nicholas recently defended his dissertation, did a great job, and he graduated in just 3 years with a perfect 4.0. Nick performed at this high academic level while still managing to work full-time with demanding work responsibilities as a clinical ethicist at Northwell Health Divisions of Medical Ethics. He's also program director and co-executive in residence for Hofstra University's MS in Health Informatics. And he's an assistant professor of medicine at the Donald and Barbara Zucker School of Medicine at Hofstra. For the Outstanding Scholarship Award, this is awarded to one graduate or group of graduates who, for each MPH or MS, who, in the judgment of the faculty, have demonstrated outstanding scholarship as evidenced by a scholarly product that reflects excellence in research and discovery, synthesis and integration, application and practice, or teaching and education. I do want to apologize ahead of time if I mispronounce any of these students. We have a lot of international students who have done great jobs. In biostatistics, a group of students have worked on the capstone. Fatima Almadi, Mahassan Almadi, Nora Aga Ami, Michelle El-Gamdi, Ines El-Shahrani, Nora El-Shamiria, and Fal Banani. Congratulations. Their title was Factors Associated with Cognitive Impairment Among Older Adults in the U.S. Longitudinal Cohort Study. For the MPH in Environmental Health, Bonnie J. Welch. Bonnie had her title was Exploration of Vulnerability in Neurodegenerative Diseases, Determination Skills of Generic and Environmental Risk Factors. This was published in GSC Biological and Pharmaceutical Sciences, very prestigious journal. She was the first author. While taking a course, she was able to set the groundwork for this publication. So very proud of her on that. Health Policy and Management, a group of students who worked at the capstone. Deborah Abrams, Savneet Singh Chu, Nicole Early, Leora Cook, Vamsi Krishnan Parva Reddy, Ariana Polanco, Masuda Raman, and Amanda Spence. Their title was Disrupting the Food Supply, Delivering NYS-Sourced Nutrient-Rich Foods to Vulnerable Communities. And according to the COVID-19 Household Pulse Survey done by the CDC, or the U.S. Census Bureau in December of 2020, 14% of adult New Yorkers reported food insecurity. This particular group tried to make it better for those people to get access to the food, so congratulations. For the Excellence in Public Health Practice Award, this is awarded to one graduate of each MPH program who has demonstrated the highest quality of performance and effort in public health practicum course. The nominee must have received a grade honors of H in the practicum course as defined by the criteria specified in the practicum syllabus. This year, our recipient is Leah Green out of epidemiology. Leah conducted an impressive research project at New York Ophthalmology Associates entitled Representation of Black Participants in Primary Open-Angle Glaucoma Clinical Trials, a systematic review and meta-analysis. According to Dr. Amy Ansell, the Director of Public Health Practice, who consulted with the epidemiology faculty, Leah had one of the most exceptional experiences in recent history. For Professional Leadership Award, This is awarded to one DRPH graduate and one graduate of each MPH-MS program who, in the judgment of the faculty, have consistently demonstrated exemplary professional behavior through service and commitment to the profession and respect at all times to health professionals. In biostatistics, Nora Aga Ami is a recipient. She has extremely professional in her interaction with other students and faculty. Epidemiology is Rosalia Abramov. During her MPH in epidemiology, Rosa was able to continue to serve her role as a pharmaceutical technologist and manager as she pivoted to a career in epidemiology in a pharmaceutical setting, where she is involved in continuing medical education for clinicians. Through her experience, she has shown professionalism and commitment to the health profession. In health policy and management, Ariana Polanco. Ariana has also been an active member of STUI, the student organization, since she enrolled in the MPH program. She was one of the organizers and key coordinators of our first virtual career mentoring session that we held last November. And finally, for health behavior and community health, we're proud to announce Catherine Van Rijn. Catherine is currently working as a community engagement manager for an outpatient mental and addiction treatment organization in Boston since 2018. She is strong in analytical, administrative, teamwork, and leadership skills. Prior to that, Catherine worked for several years as a deputy director for extended treatment programs at the Blue Sky Clinic in Danbury, Connecticut, where she provided community and social service. For the Outstanding Dissertation Award, that goes to Emily Kaplan. Dr. Kaplan recently defended, and her title was Job Turnover of EMTs and Paramedics in the U.S., the Impact of Emotional Intelligence, Stress, Occupational Burnout, and Health. Emily's dissertation was exceptionally creative in developing a unique and important research topic of an underserved issue, where she developed and distributed a survey to EMTs and paramedics to collect data regarding occupational burnout, stress, emotional intelligence, and health. And finally, we'd like to announce our new award, the Department Chair's Recognition Award. This is awarded to one student in the department who, according to the chair of the department, has shown outstanding academics, service, and leadership to students, the community, the department, or the school. And this year, we'd like to give this award to Adib Faye. Adib will be graduating with his MPH in health behavior and community health this summer. Adib is one of the many Saudi students who have come to NYMC to earn their graduate degrees in public health. He has taken on great leadership in helping Saudi students assimilate to their life here in the U.S. He was the founder and current president of the Saudi Club, created in late 2019. This club strives to provide the students with the best possible school activities at NYMC. The club disseminates information that reflects Saudi culture, tradition, and heritage through their active participation in academic, cultural, and social activities. So congratulations to these award winners, and congratulations to all of our graduates.
Good evening. Dean Amler back again. Candidates for the degrees in the School of Health Sciences and Practice, wherever you find yourself this evening, please rise. President Kadish, I have the honor of presenting the candidates for the following degrees: Master of Science in Speech-Language Pathology, Master of Science in Biostatistics, Doctor of Physical Therapy, Master of Public Health, Doctor of Public Health.
As we come together to celebrate academic excellence, it is with great excitement that on behalf of all of New York Medical College, and particularly the faculty and staff of the School of Health Sciences and Practice, that I congratulate you, the graduates. Please accept my most sincere respect for your personal commitment to excellence. You are being honored today because of this commitment and your fortitude in completing this important educational achievement. The hooding ceremony under normal circumstances adds to the graduation experience by making it possible for us to focus on our advanced degree candidates and their accomplishments. It allows all of us a chance to witness a ceremonial hooding of each graduate student in a very intimate setting. Unfortunately, we must forgo that intimate setting this year, but invite you to create your own wherever you might be. The colorful hood is reserved for those individuals who have attained academic degrees beyond the bachelor's degree. The hoods are lined with official colors of New York Medical College and are edged and bound with velvet of the color appropriate for the degree you are receiving. The hood is a special part of the academic regalia that denotes your scholarly and professional achievements. As you receive your hood, might I suggest you have someone dear to you who has supported you in your educational quest do the honor of placing it over your head and onto your shoulders at my direction in just a moment. Please remember the many hours of reading, the papers, labs, clinical experiences, and tests, and the numerous sacrifices you made along the way. Your scholarly challenges, perhaps at times, seemed insurmountable, but will serve you well. You have earned a New York Medical College graduate degree, a credential that is known all over the world. And now, please place the hood over the graduate's head and onto their shoulders. President John F. Kennedy said, "Let us think of education as the means of developing our greatest abilities, because in each of us there is a private hope and dream which, fulfilled, can be translated into benefit for everyone and greater strength for our nation." I challenge you to use your knowledge and skills to support humankind and to help this nation and world thrive. Please accept my heartfelt congratulations and best wishes. Thank you.
We'll do the speech-language pathology pledge first. As I enter the profession of speech-language pathology, I respectfully and willingly pledge the following. I'll commit myself to the ethical, responsible, and diligent practice of speech-language pathology. I'll respect and uphold the laws and regulations that govern my profession, adhere to its ethical principles, and accept the profession's self-imposed standards. I'll faithfully honor the inherent dignity of all and treat those who depend on my help with respect, consideration, and appreciation for our diversities. I'll hold paramount the welfare of persons I serve, as well as those who are participants in research and scholarly activities. I will always protect the rights and confidentialities of those who seek my help and act only for their benefit. I'll continually strive to learn, further my professional competence, accurately share my knowledge with those who seek it, and advocate for the unmet communication and swallowing needs of the public. I'll always conduct myself with dignity, maintain collaborative and harmonious interprofessional relationships, and place service to humankind before personal or material gain. With honor and pride, I commit myself to the profession of speech-language pathology.
Class of 2021 DPT students and any physical therapists in attendance, please rise and repeat after me the pledge for physical therapy. As I enter the profession of physical therapy to practice as a physical therapist, I solemnly and willingly pledge the following. I will respect the rights and dignity of all individuals and will provide compassionate care. I will be trustworthy toward my patients and clients and in all other aspects of physical therapy practice. I will place the welfare of my patients and clients above my own self-interest. I will provide accurate and relevant information to patients and clients about their care and to the public about physical therapy services. I will exercise sound judgment and comply with all laws and regulations that govern physical therapy and protect the public from unethical, incompetent, and illegal acts. I will maintain professional competence and promote high standards for physical therapy practice, education, and research. I will address the health needs of society and strive to effect changes that benefit patients, clients, and the community. I will respect the rights, knowledge, and skills of colleagues and other healthcare professionals, and seek consultation whenever the welfare of the patient or client may be advanced. Thus, with this pledge, I freely accept the responsibilities that accompany the practice of physical therapy.
This concludes our virtual awards ceremony and commencement for the class of 2021 in the School of Health Sciences and Practice at New York Medical College. Thank you all for attending, and congratulations again to our very special graduates. Have a pleasant evening.
I invite Dr. Edward Halperin, Chancellor and Chief Executive Officer, New York Medical College, and Provost for Biomedical Affairs, Touro College and University System, to speak.
I would like to offer the graduates a chance to recognize their parents, their families, and their friends who brought you to this special day. Wherever you find yourselves, will the graduates turn and thank your families and friends? Thank you. Founded in 1860, New York Medical College is a 161-year-old community of scholars that exists for the generation, conservation, and dissemination of knowledge about the causes, prevention, and treatment of human disease and disability. This college has adapted to the times whilst remaining true to its core values. In Bryant Park, in Manhattan, there is a large statue which honors our founder, William Cullen Bryant. We know where he stood in the 1850s. Free the slaves, give them the vote, give women the vote, allow workers to form trade unions and collectively bargain with management. When he established New York Medical College, it was, in his time, and remains in our time, a bastion against bigotry in health education and health care. In 1867, we graduated Emily Stowe, the first licensed female physician of Canada. In 1870, we graduated Susan Smith McKinney Stewart, the first black woman to earn an MD in New York State and the third to do so in the United States. In 1921, Israel Simon Kleiner, a diabetes researcher, became Dean of the School of Medicine. He was the first Jewish dean of a historically majority allopathic U.S. medical school. In 1926, Mary B. Stark of New York Medical College became the first woman to chair a basic science department at a historically majority allopathic medical school. In 1933, Myra Adele Logan received her MD. She would become the first woman to perform open heart surgery in the world and the second black woman to be elected to the American College of Surgeons. In 1967, Jane Cook Wright, class of 1945, became the first black woman to be named a dean of a historically majority allopathic U.S. medical school. New York Medical College is a defender of the premise of respect for all. It is a place where there are no hyphenated people or patients. There is no such thing as an illegal or undocumented patient. Human beings are not illegal. Disrespecting people by willfully pronouncing their name, as a former U.S. Senator did in reference to the current Vice President of the United States, is othering people. When people are ill, they are simply our fellow humans in need of our help. And we assert that discrimination against people by trying to place the blame for a pandemic upon them is also evil. At this college, we shall defend the proposition that the world is simply full of our fellow human beings, and sometimes our fellow humans are in need of prompt, expert, and humane medical care. And sometimes we will be the ones in need of that care. We shall always treat others the way we expect to be treated. We know where our founder stood. We know where we stand. And just like that tree that's standing by the water, we shall not be moved. Dear graduates, the faculty of this college has sought ardently to educate. You have sought ardently to learn. We arrive at this day together in partnership. We are proud of what we have jointly achieved. While you have been with us, we have strived to impart both values and knowledge, because wisdom occurs at the confluence of knowledge and values. We confidently send you forth, well prepared by the challenges posed by your respective disciplines. As you go forward, I charge you to commit yourselves to the highest professional and ethical standards, to render to each person the dignity that is rightfully theirs, to remember that you are stewards of the connected human family, to be compassionate to those in need, and to remember with pride New York Medical College and the Touro College and University System, as we will proudly remember you. Godspeed on your journey, young graduates.
Revered members of the clergy, Board Chair Mark, members of the Board of Trustees, President Kadish, Chancellor Halperin, deans, administration, faculty, distinguished guests, graduates, parents, and friends, the 162nd Commencement of New York Medical College and the second commencement of the Touro College of Dental Medicine is concluded. Yes, 162nd in 161 years, as we had a double commencement in 1975. Congratulations, graduates.